back. Once again, welcome to another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Adult Business Owners and Entrepreneurs, where we teach you the core four, which is how to get, close, keep, and capitalize on the best customers in your industry. I am your host, best-selling author Sadon Long, and thank you for tuning in once again. So today, we're talking about marketing mistakes. Marketing mistakes, that's right. Right now, you probably got a little money in your hands, whether you got a tax refund, whether you got a bonus on your job, whether you taking money out of 401k, you're saying, I am going to hire a marketing person. Now, before you do that, listen to this pod, watch this video, whether you're listening on Spotify or you're listening on or watching it on YouTube, make sure that you listen very carefully because we're going to break it down today. Matter of fact, send this to your friends because I know you got some friends in the industry because, birds of a feather flock together. So send it to your friends because the purpose of today is to show you exactly how marketing works and it doesn't work so that you can then hire the best people for the job. First and foremost, let's not talk about what marketing is. Let's talk about what marketing is supposed to do. Okay. Number one, marketing is supposed to put you in a position to attract closed or partially closed customers. Okay, what do I mean when I say that? Okay, so you're sitting at home and you're saying, I need more customers. So I'm going to get a marketing guy so people now know about my business. But what people? Is it people who want to do business with you or just people who are seeing your ad, seeing your billboard, seeing your flyer? You know, what group of people? Now you're like, well, my target market. Okay, so now let's break it down. Here's what you really have when you start talking about your target market, people you want to do business with, all of the above. Let's break it down like this. There's a different way to look at it for people at home or wherever you are, in your car or at work. There's four kinds of traffic. Okay, so we're calling it customer traffic right now because they aren't a customer yet. There's four kinds of traffic. Number one, there's hot traffic. Okay, what's hot traffic? I know that sounds a little sexual, but what's hot traffic? Okay, hot traffic is people who are looking for you. People who are running all over town trying to get your phone number, trying to find out where your store is, trying to find out where you are so that they can then give you money. I go to the Bible and the woman in the Bible is talking about, I've been looking for you all day. It's in Proverbs, by the way. And the purpose of that talent or the purpose of those are people who already know about you. Those are people who already know what you do works, already need it really bad. Those people are hot. I come from recruiting. And in recruiting, a hot lead was somebody who just walked in the door and enrolled. You know, like, man, I need to sign up today. You literally didn't have to do anything other than slide the paperwork across the table. They filled it out. They made their financial aid appointment, and it was done. Didn't have to call nobody, didn't have to see no commercial, nothing. So that's what a hot lead is. You know, so now the question I'm asking you at home is, how many of those do you really have? How many people do you have beating down your door ready to give you a check right now? And if you do have three or four or five of those people, what you gonna do next month? Yeah. So since the majority of us do not have people just beating down our door ready to give us a check with almost no questions at all, now you need marketing. Now you need to start attracting people. Now you need to start getting people who can then ultimately turn into a customer. Because like I said, right now we're talking about traffic. Right now, traffic is not a customer. Okay. So the first one is hot. Hot are people who just want to give you the money. They heard about you. They saw you work with somebody else. They just want to give you the money. Okay. Now, next is warm traffic. Okay. And if you have a good marketer, this is where your marketers need to start their job because you don't need them for hot traffic. Hot traffic take care of itself. So now you got this warm traffic. Okay. Now, what's warm traffic? Warm traffic is people you know and they know you. I always call that the Kirby method. You know, Like the Kirby vacuum cleaners, the first thing they tell you is to sell your family and friends. Okay, so that's warm traffic. People that maybe you went to school with, people that you're in organizations with, people that you work with, friends of people that you work with. Those people are warm traffic, and the reason they're warm traffic is because they already know you. So they're easier to sell. That's how network marketing or multi-level marketing works. It's like sell the people closest to you because they already know, like, and trust you. Okay. So now with those people, it could go one or two ways. It could go A, they want to do business with you, or B, you run them away because you're always trying to do business with them. Now, ideally, in those situations, what you should be doing is asking if they know anybody. You know, asking if they know somebody who is interested in what you're offering. Now, when I say offering, I mean, what are you giving them in exchange for money? Now, here's why that's important. So, I call you up. I say, hey, how you doing? Man, I ain't talked to you in a while. What you been up to? Hey, man, I got this new thing that I'm doing right now, and I want to know if you give me some money. Nah, man, I ain't got it. People gonna hang up on you, right? The first phrase you're gonna hear is, nah, man, I ain't got it. Oh, man, let me let you go. Oh, man, I gotta call you back. Why? Because you're asking them for money. They might be real excited when they see you starting something or when you wrote your book, but now when you are asking them for money, you know, it might mess with the friendship. And again, even if you did have 10 or 15 people within your circle to give you money for a book, for a t-shirt, for a hoodie, to come out to your breakfast spot, to buy whatever, what are you going to do next month? And a month after that, and a month after that. Because how likely are those 10 or 15 people who supported you, quote unquote, that first month or first 2 months, how likely are they going to keep supporting you? Because you have to make a living at this. You have to be able to feed your family with this. You have to be able to take money out of your pocket and give it to a kid so that he can go on a field trip or that he can go get a haircut or she can go get some things that she needs to maintain her lifestyle: phones, computers, internet, food, outings. You know, the business is how you're going to pay for trips to Disney World. So if you have 15 people who gave you something the first month or the first couple months, how likely are they to continue to do it? And is that enough people to keep you in the lifestyle that you're accustomed to? Yes or no? Okay. So now, again, you call those people, you ask them for some money, they tell you they ain't got it, and now it's over. Now what do? You still got the supplies that you bought. You still have the rent that you got to pay. You still have the flyers that you bought. You still have the books that you bought. You still have all this inventory and stuff that you need to recoup. And the people around you didn't help you. That's where marketing comes into play. Because these are the people who are supposed to be helping you recoup. So now with that being said, if you go to those same people and you have a good offer, because a marketing person should be able to put together a good offer. Again, like if I reached out to you today, I would be like, man, do you know anybody, you know, who's in this particular situation, self-funded business owner, looking to get more sales in 2024, who might want to learn how I made 600K for a client in 5 months for $149. So, do you know anyone who looks like this in this particular situation, who's struggling with these particular things, who might be interested in learning how to make 600K in 5 months, or how I made 600K in 5 months for a client? How the blueprint works, how I set it up, what to do. So now, instead of me asking them for money, I'm just asking if they know anybody. You know? And the idea that, hey, you're going to learn a method that may potentially get you 600K in 5 months for only $149. Hmm. Yeah, I might know a couple people. Hell, I might be one of the people, because the offer is so good that you can't refuse. So now what a marketer should be doing is like, okay, well, how do we get more of those people today? Now you might throw in a bonus. Say, oh, and if any of those people buy today, you know, they'll get a free ebook called da 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 da. Or if any of those people buy, I'll give you $25. So see, now these are small little strategies that take that same warm traffic and now it starts to convert into customers. Now it starts to convert into people who will give you money. See, when it's warm traffic, they know you. And because they know you, now you have access to them. You can send them an email. You can make a phone call. You can DM them because they know you. So we got hot, which is people who are hunting you down. We got warm, which is people who know you and will allow you to sell them. And now we have lukewarm traffic. Okay. Lukewarm traffic is people who you may know, but maybe haven't talked to them in a while. People who may know you, but you don't really know them that well. So now, as a marketer, the marketer's got to figure out how to take that lukewarm traffic and convert it into a customer. So when you think about sending out emails or sending out letters or reaching out to people, again, that same do you know anybody approach applies. But now we don't have the pleasure of getting in a face-to-face conversation with them people. So you got to know how to make it appealing enough for them to open your email. Make it appealing enough for them to pick up the phone for you. Make it appealing enough for them to watch your video. Which means that you have to put something in it for them. You know, so now, if you hire a marketer, how are you going to take my lukewarm traffic and my warm traffic, or as some people call my organic traffic, um, and turn them into customers? Hey, running a seminar on how to do the following. Are you interested? That's when your Dean Grazianos and your Alex Hormozi quick short 9-word pitches come into play. You know, did you ever get such and such fixed? Are you still interested in? Hey, are you still in the market for? And then you put the benefit on the back of that. Are you still looking for a way to? And then you put the benefit on the back of that. See, now if you're asking me how would I do it, that's what I would do. Hey, are you still interested in getting your um, car detailed? Hey, are you still in the market for a house? Hey, did you ever get that tooth pulled? Hey, did you finally hire a trainer? So now you ask these little questions because that's going to pique their interest. Because if they have, then they'll say, hey, yeah, I found somebody. And cool, you can cross them off your list. Or I didn't find somebody. Okay, great. Well, right now, we're running a special. First 10 people get, and then we go right back into the bonuses, and then we go right back into the offer, and then we go right back into, the limited time only. So now, again, we're working the lukewarm and the warm traffic. Now, one of the things that, when we talk about the 600K in 5 months is, man, we worked the heck out of that warm traffic. So if you have a mailing list, if you have a list of followers, if you got a whole bunch of contacts, we worked that list tirelessly. Because that's what an email campaign is. It is working that warm list. Okay, so now when we're working that warm list, maybe we don't get them all the first time, but we keep sending them emails, and not just sending them emails, but sending them emails that about things that they have questions about, things that'll make them open the email. And then within the email, we're teaching, giving information, challenging them, ultimately to move them closer to a sale. So for your marketer at the house, or the marketer that you're thinking about hiring, how is he getting that warm to lukewarm traffic to open the email? That means he got to be able to write a good headline. He got to be talking about something they want to hear. Because if he doesn't, what's going to happen? They're not going to open it. They're going to tune them out. They're going to put you in the spam category. So now you gave someone thousands of dollars for emails that nobody will open. Okay. So now once you get them open, can you close them? Because if you're an email marketer or if you're using email marketing, you got to be able to close in the email, meaning that you got to be able to explain the problem. You know, how would I explain this? Okay, problem, agitate, problem, solution. Okay, problem is you can't get sales. What's not getting sales costing you? Problem it's probably going to cost you your business. It's probably going to cost you your relationship. It's probably going to cost you your standing within the family. So there's the agitate part within an email. So now here's a solution. Okay. So to avoid the problems that not getting sales is causing you, click the following link, which is called a call to action, by the way. So when you do that, now it trickles down the email. Okay. To a point where now, again, we go right back to bonuses and urgency and limited time only because we need to close them. You know, to start today, click right here. So now if you have someone who wants to quote unquote do your marketing, but they can't take your warm and lukewarm traffic and turn it into a customer who's willing to, give you money, how are you going to make a living? How are you going to take care of your kids? How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to keep your standing and lifestyle? And you're in the hole because you paid that person to do something that didn't work. Didn't work. They didn't open the email. If they opened the email, they didn't buy. Same thing with your social media posts, which is what we're going to get to in a second. But if nobody's actually buying anything, what did you actually pay for? You paid for pieces of paper that people threw away. You paid for a billboard that people just keep driving by. You paid for a website that nobody goes to. These things are supposed to help you close. Now, again, marketing should help make you money. And if you're hiring someone who does not want to participate in the process of making you money, you do not hire them. Why? Because your responsibility as a business owner is to your family. And how do you sit down in front of your family and say, I gave this person thousands of dollars and they did nothing for us? They just took our money and ran. How do you sit down with your wife and say, hey, I've been spending money like a drunk sailor on t-shirts and hats and cups and mugs, and now I got a garage full of stuff and the money's gone. This is happening all over the world. People are betting, placing poor bets at that, on whether or not their dream can be something that is a reality. And the scam, keep it 100, the scam is that you're going to be able to get enough support to make a living. So when you don't make a living, the marketer's like, hey man, we built the website. It's not our fault that people aren't going to it. All the buttons work. So it's not our fault. We took the pictures, we shot the video. It's not our fault people not buying your stuff. But a good marketer to great marketer is in the business of converting that warm and lukewarm traffic to a customer that you can actually track when they started sending emails. You can actually track when they started writing your copy. You could actually track when they started managing your business and see the progression. Now, again, I talk about 600K in 5 months, but man, I've had $35,000 Sundays and $100,000 months, and it's all benefited my clients. Hell, the majority of the time it's benefited my clients way more than it benefited me. Just full transparency. But the idea is you're hiring a money generator, and that money generator is supposed to help you. So if they can't tell you how they're going to close your warm and lukewarm traffic, what strategy do they have? Is it going to be emails? Is it going to be text messages? Is it going to be DMs? Because how are you going to get to those people? Oh, we're gonna do flyers. Okay. Let me get to it. Matter of fact, let's just go and get to it. So after we got lukewarm traffic, we got cold traffic. Cold traffic is people who don't know you from a can of paint. So cold traffic is where, quote unquote, we think our benefit is going to be tremendous because we think that if people who don't know us just all of a sudden knew about us, they'd immediately want to give us money. That's the belief. You know, that if I just had a billboard, that people would be driving down the highway doing 80 miles an hour and they'd look up and they'd see my phone number. That if I was just on, TV, if I just boosted the ad, if I just got on Hulu, if I just did any of those stuff, that people would see me and then all of a sudden they just come running through the door. If you build it, they will come. That's the theory. But answer me this. When the last time you gave money to somebody who was a total stranger? Okay, a significant amount of money, not a dollar, not 35 cents, not a $20 bill. Okay. And now, how often do you do that? Because what you're counting on is enough strangers giving you a significant amount of money so that you can make a living. That's what you're counting on. You're counting on a significant amount of people giving you enough money so that you can make a living. So, how do we get these strangers not only to pay attention to us, but to pay attention long enough to see the value in what we offer and then decide to give us some money? That's what you're hiring a marketing person to do. You know, you're hiring a person who can turn strangers into customers. So if they can't turn strangers into customers, what are you getting in return for your money? A picture with you with your arms folded, you know, your face on some flyers. Because let's talk about it. Stranger walking down the street. Somebody hands them a piece of paper. Okay. What on that piece of paper is supposed to be so exciting that it immediately makes them want to give you money? You know, new hair salon. Okay, I got a hair salon already. Why do I want to go to yours? New restaurant. Okay, it's thousands of restaurants in this city. Why do I want to go to yours? Strangers don't care about stuff that doesn't help them. You know how it is when you out and somebody approaches you that you don't know and tries to hand you something. You give them the stiff arm. You give them the Heisman. You like, hey, bro, not today. I got somewhere to be. So now, why do you throw that out when you start creating flyers and thinking that, hey, if I say, hey, we're open now, grand opening, that the same people that people aren't going to do the same thing to you that you've been doing to people for the last 20 years. So now you got to have a way to get past that. And can your marketer get you past that? So what we gonna do with this cold traffic, bro? Oh, well, we gonna run some ads. Okay, so let's talk about it. Sitting with a client one time, and there were some other people in the room who he was doing business with, and they were like, okay, we're gonna put you on Hulu. I'm like, okay, well, why are we putting them on Hulu? Well, Hulu's running a special now where if you pay such and such, then you'll have commercials on Hulu. Okay. So now we put you on Hulu. How many times do we need to have a commercial running on Hulu before people actually see it? Number one, because most of the time when the commercials come on, what do? You put your head down, you start playing on your phone. Okay. So now how many commercials do we have to run before somebody sees it? Okay. And what are we saying in said commercial that once they see it is going to then going to make them give us some money? Because the reality is that they didn't send for you. You're invading their privacy. When you're driving in your car and the commercial comes on, you didn't pick that commercial. So if you didn't pick the commercial, why do you care? Well, we're gonna boost the ad. Same thing applies. You know, how many ads do you need to run? Because when you think about Doritos, just say how many Doritos, McDonald's, Pepsi commercials have you seen over your lifetime? How many? Thousands. Okay. Do you have enough money to run thousands of ads before you get one customer? Do you have enough money to keep running thousands of ads if it's only getting you one or two customers? No. Because again, you're running ads to strangers. And if you're not saying something in these ads that have people going, oh, cool, I need that, how are you going to recoup your money? Again, cold traffic, people, strangers, people who do not know you. How do you convert them into customers? Well, first thing you got to do is you got to be talking about something they want to hear. You got to be talking about things that are going to improve their life, help them reach their goals, get them to a place that is ideal for them. So talking about yourself don't work. It just doesn't. Because the only time they care about you is when you can help them. So you're saying, okay, well, yeah, I'm I'm so and so. I run. When's the last time you gave somebody money to hear them talk about themselves? When's the last time you gave somebody time and if all they did was talk about themselves? Ladies, if you go on a date with a man and all he does is talk about himself, what happens? You start tuning him out. Fellas, if you're on the phone with a lady and all she's doing is talking about her job, her parents, her family, her cousins, her feet, her emotional distress, and every other thing, what do? You tune her out. No. So if you jump on a video and you say, hey, I just wanted to, they immediately tune you out. Okay? And that's even with people who know you. So if you jump on your warm traffic and you talk about we already agreed that, more than likely they're going to tune you out. Now with cold traffic, they don't even know you. So why are they even watching the video in the first place? Yeah. See, here's an alternative method. Okay. Now what we do with cold traffic is we take the questions we know they have. We know that they're asking questions about this. We know that they're concerned about that. In business, a lot of times people want to know about marketing. People want to know about grants. People want to know how to hire the right people. People want to know how to grow their sales. People want to know how to get business credit, bank loans, things of that nature. People want to know how to better engage with their target market. So we make videos about that. We make podcasts about it. So now what starts to happen is our warm traffic starts to watch those videos. People who already know us are just like, oh man, see, I got a new podcast. So they start watching. And if their dream is to own a business, then they start watching more often. So now that we have people watching the reels, we have people watching the videos, we have people listening to the podcast, then those platforms, what they do is they do a three-way, not that kind of three-way, but they do a three-way introduction, which is where they actually walk you over to another person and say, hey, here's the guy that we found that can really help you. Check out his stuff. Okay. And that's called suggested content. That's called because you watch this. That's called recommended content. So the platform is now endorsing you to strangers. Didn't have to boost any ads, you know, didn't have to pay a whole lot of money. Just had to do good content answering questions that people wanted to watch videos about. So if I make something that they want to watch, guess what? They'll watch it. You know, how do I lose weight in the next 30 days? So now if you're at home, here's what you need to be thinking. Like, what is it that my customer wants to know? If I'm in the cigar business, okay, how to pick a cigar. What are the top cigars? What are the cigars to avoid? What are the best lighters, best ashtrays? Where are the best cigar bars? Best cities for cigar smokers. You know, so now all of those things are something that cigar smokers will have an interest in. So again, the other day I talked about your tribe. So now if the people in your tribe are watching, because what you're giving them is helping them get closer to their goal, which is their best experience possible, now the algorithm kicks in. Now the platform says, oh, okay, cool, we got a guy who's really serious about this, and we can endorse him. We can expand his reach. We can let his video play to more people. Because again, that's what they're in the business of doing. They're in the business of keeping people watching their platform. They're in the business of keeping people on their platform. So if your content isn't being watched or it's running people away from the platform, why would they allow you to have more people? And my question for you at home is, if you can't get people to watch your stuff for free, why would you then boost the ads? The idea is to figure out something that works, that people are watching, and then create more of that so that the platforms do the work for you. We talk about going viral, but here's the thing about going viral. If you go viral for something that doesn't bring you any money, you just went viral. Okay. But now if you're going viral with people who are already interested in what you're doing, now what happens is you take a stranger through a third party introduction called suggested content and you make them a warm lead. You know, you get their contact information, you get their phone number, you get their email address, you get all that kind of stuff. So now when you start emailing them and you start DMing them and you start text messaging them and you start reaching out to them, you start inviting them to stuff, they're not a stranger anymore. They're like, oh, that's my guy that do the cigars. Oh, that's my guy that teach skating. Oh, that's my girl that does the skincare. Oh, that's my homegirl to give advice about. See, now that familiarity kicks in and they're no longer a stranger. So now how does your marketer take people who do not know you from not knowing you to friend, to trusted advisor, to someone they want to give money to, and ultimately to somebody who's chasing you around trying to give the money to you? Because again, we're talking strangers. So if you go paid ad with a stranger, there's no guarantee they're going to watch it. And there's no guarantee that you have enough money. And this is another one of these things you got to watch out for. Okay, because what'll happen is you'll be running paid ads, and it won't work. And what the marketing people will tell you is that, oh, you just haven't given it enough time. Okay, so when they say you haven't given it enough time, here's what they aren't saying: that it's going to take more money and it may never work. Okay, so you spending $200 a week, not getting you any people that you can close. They're saying, look at the insights. The insights are getting better, but it's not closing anybody. So now you give them another $200, but you're still not closing anybody. Still haven't turned a stranger into a customer yet. Oh, it's going to take a little bit longer. Okay, so now you give them another 200, another 300, another 400. You see where I'm going with this? So when you hire a marketer, They have to be able to close. They have to be able to write an email that says, open me, read it all the way through to the bottom, and click a button. They have to be able to say, hey, click here to give us your money. And that person actually do it. I was at an event recently and people were like, man, you were really marketing. I'm like, well, we only know if the marketing works if the room is full. Okay. We only know if the marketing works is if over the next 4 or 5 weeks, people are still trying to do business with you. See, that's where you know your marketing is working because now it's turning strangers and people who kind of know you into customers. Now, how do you know your lives are working? Because people start asking, how can they give you money? Now, I talk about turning free social media into cold hard cash. What that is that's closing people who know you and people who don't know you enough times that you can now create a living. So now, when you're hiring a marketer, can they do that? Can you show me how to take people who kind of already know me and turn them into customers? Can you show me how to take people who do not know me, make them aware of me, turn them into people who kind of know me, and then turn them into a customer? Because they can't do that, then how are they going to recoup your money? You know, do you know what to say to get people to open the app? Do you know what to say to get people to buy? Do you know what to say to get people to keep buying? Those are the questions you need to be asking your marketer. Do you know how to close clients? Okay. So if you're sitting across from somebody and they're saying, well, we want to do your marketing, we want to help you market your business, you need to be asking them, okay, well, I get that, but how is your marketing going to make me some money? Because marketing is supposed to lead to sales. We identify the people who are most likely to give you some money, whether we know them or not, and then we work to cultivate those people. Again, we talk about the 600K because on April 2nd, I'm gonna break the blueprint down for you and show you how you can use it. And it may not get you 600K because I don't know what your costs are. I don't know what your product is, so I'm not gonna guarantee you that it works for you the same way it works for them. But what I will guarantee you is that it works. Okay. Now I can't give you a number, but I can guarantee you that it works. Hell, it might do $2 million for you, but it's gonna work. Okay. So here's one little piece. So we knew we had this list of people. All right, we got people who done clicked your button, done seen your video. We got that. So we got a list of those are warm people. Okay. Now what we did with those warm people is we started talking about stuff that they wanted to know. You know, okay, how to be better at what you do. Okay, what's going on in the next few months that's going to affect what you do. So, for example, like I always give the example of we were talking about inflation. Okay, so inflation was a hot topic. What's going on with inflation and how it's going to affect your business? So now, if you're at home, you're like, okay, well, man, inflation, how it's going to affect my business? Yeah, I might need to know that. So now you open it. And what do? You say, hey, man, here's what's going on with inflation. Based on the current indicators, what you can expect to happen over the next 4 months is that people are going to start getting laid off. Okay, so because people are going to start getting laid off, here's how you use that to your advantage. Didn't sell them anything, but I gave them some heads up. I gave them some information that was valuable. Hey, people are going to start losing their jobs real soon, so you need to be paying attention to this. So at the end of it, oh, by the way, if you need a strategy that's going to help you take advantage of this, click the link below. Then we started running sales. Okay. So now that same strategy that you know is going to help you, right now we're offering it for 20% off. But there's a ton of people doing 20% off. So we figured out new and creative ways to do the same thing with different headlines. What's the headline? Headline is the thing they see that makes them want to open the email. Headline is the thing you see in the supermarket that makes you want to open the Inquirer. Headline is the thing that you see on a video on YouTube that makes you want to watch the video. Okay. So again, how is your marketer going to create that stuff so that people want to open it, so that strangers want to open it? Because again, one person is representative of 1,000. So if the one person you know thinks this way, there's at least 1,000 other people who think the same way. So let me get a headline that I know people in my industry will read. Now let me walk them through the benefits of doing business with me. Let me walk them through the things that happen if they don't do business with me. Remember, problem, agitate, solution. So let me walk them through that. Here's what it's costing you to not do business with me. Here's what it's costing you right now to not do business with somebody who can close this stuff for you. It's costing you thousands of dollars. It's costing you money that you may never recoup. It's costing you money that you could get that you can't get. Not to mention the emotional side, which is the embarrassment of having to sit down with somebody and say, man, I spent all this money on a person that didn't work. I gave these people $10,000 to promote me and I didn't get any customers. Or I didn't get enough customers to make my 10,000 back. Because let's be clear, if you paid $10,000 to whomever and you only made $2,000 in sales, you lost $8,000. If you call the TV station, radio station, and you want to get on and they say, well, it's 1,500 or 4,500 or whatever the number is, if you're not making 3 times that, was it worth it? I always go back to when I was doing radio and people were real excited. Hey man, saw you on the radio. And I would always be like, how did you see me on the radio? Like, oh, you saw my Facebook Live from the radio station. That's what you saw. Okay. So what that taught me and told me is that I really don't need the radio station because the majority of people who are seeing me are seeing me on Facebook, which again led me down the path to how to turn free social media into cold hard cash. So now instead of giving them 1,500 at the time, I don't know what it is now, to be on, not knowing if I was reaching any strangers or if any strangers were listening and knowing if any of those strangers were converting to people who wanted to give me money, partially because I didn't have a very good offer at the time. I just was on the radio. I didn't have a, hey, listen to me. And at the end, call in action to a product that was actually going to help the problem that I spent the last 20 minutes agitating. Didn't have that. But over time, I learned that, hey, all of this agitation and stuff has to lead to something. So we've been talking about this for the last 43 minutes. And what it should lead to is it should lead to you going over to growingrich.com, clicking the Make Money Fast button so we can sit down and have a conversation about your business, your goals, your situation, and anything that you learn from that, you now get to keep and use it to make money. But it should also lead to you going over there, and when you go over there, what you're going to see is you're going to see that the 600K and 5-month blueprint webinar coming on April 2nd is there. And like, oh man, that's something I really need to know. So we've talked about the business. We told you to go over to get the free call. And while you're going over to get the free call, then you see there's something actually there that can help you. So again, we taking it, we pushing it back to the same, thing that I'm telling you to do for yourself. So now if you sign up for the list, now I got you on the list. I'll send you some more emails. I'll send you some more information. I'll send you some more podcasts. You'll be able to go and look at my video library. And all of this stuff is going to help it make it easier, faster, and simpler for you to get the thing that you need most in the world, which is some sales. And then where I'm better and different than most, and I said better, you doggone right, I said it, is that now we teach you how to keep them. Because remember, we teach the core 4, or the 4 core, whichever one you want to call it, which is now not only how to get those strangers and people who kind of know you to become customers, because that part, you get their information. But now, how to close them, because again, we got to turn strangers and warm leads into actual sales. But then we also teach you how to keep them. You know, you can go all the way back to, hell, 80 pounds ago and years ago, and you see me talking about the, core customers, because core customers buy longer, buy more, bring more people with them. So I've been doing this, perfecting this, working this a long time. But now you keep them buying. We go back to that 600K in 5 month thing, and the thing that we were able to do is we were able to build additional streams of income off warm traffic, off people who already knew, liked, loved, trusted us. So now we built additional streams with a customer that was already there, that we didn't have to go out and get, because trying to get people who don't know you to give you money, it takes time, because they got to get to know you, they got to get to trust you, they got to get to like you. Now there are ways to speed it up, and it's not by boosting ads, because if you boost a bad ad, it doesn't work. What speeds it up is boosting the ad and offering a solution to something that is important enough to them to give you money. So they got to figure out who you are, and they got to trust you, because again, you're asking for money. And we talked about in the beginning, if somebody calls you and asks you for some money, you probably going to tune them out. If you call somebody and ask them for some money, they're probably going to tune you out. All this asking for money stuff, hey, tricky subject. You know, so that's what we teach you. We teach you how to do it. We allow you to use our system to get it done. And our system is proven. It's battle tested. It's stress tested. It worked in COVID. It worked in the recession. It worked during inflation. It worked 24/7, 365. As a matter of fact, it works even better during the most difficult times. Because during the most difficult times, all the people who are doing the things that don't work, running customers off, they running them right to us. You know, like again, bad marketing is running people right to me. Shout out to all my bad marketers out there. All my people who can't recoup people's money, all my people who can't generate sales, all my people who can't close warm traffic or cold traffic. You're running those people right to me, because I have a solution. I have a system. And the difference between a system and a plan is that a system is proven to work multiple times. It has social proof, it has statistics, it has people who can vouch for it. And in my case, hey, close to 99% of people I've ever worked with hire me more than once. How many people can really say that? My system has made millions of dollars. Who doesn't want a system that's made millions of dollars? Now, I don't guarantee everybody millions of dollars, because everybody's products aren't set up that way. But I do guarantee that I will work with you to put you in a position that you can have the freedom that having a great business that gets sales and keeps sales coming on a consistent basis can provide. You know, my work has created tons of full-time entrepreneurs. So if you're sitting at home like, man, I need to get people in here, what you need to do is go over to growingrich.com. Click the Make Money Fast button. There is absolutely no risk in clicking that button, because that first one's on me. You know, like we were standing at the bar and I said, get my man a drink. Same thing. Now you're saying, well, why would I do that? Because it gives you a chance to get a customized version of my system that you can then use to make money easier, simpler, faster than you ever could before. And it usually starts working within days. So again, there are people that I've done to make money fast with call, and 15 minutes later they got $1,500. Now it doesn't happen all the time, but a lot of times, man, you might get a customer off that first post. You might get a customer off that first live. You might get a customer off that first email. So now, how does that help you? How does that help your business? Especially when I can then show you how to take that customer and get that customer to buy from you again, and then show you how to capitalize off the success of that customer so that they then bring you more customers. Because what makes business easier? You pushing, grabbing, tugging, trying to get people to listen who don't want to listen, or somebody walking a customer to you and saying, hey, here's my guy. Meet each other. Do business with him and only do business with him. What works better? You know, because now those referrals come, and that's money that you didn't have to do anything to get. That becomes a hot lead that we talked about in the beginning, a hot one. Because the people who've already done business with you, they brought you that lead. They told them how much it costs. They told them how good it is. Everything. So even if you have no business whatsoever right now, if you get one or two sales, that one or two sales could then turn into three, four, five people who are walked right up to you with money already out. And at the same time, if you celebrate and celebrate those people, then strangers who don't know you become customers. Because that referral is a stranger who's now a customer. And if we do it in a public platform in a way that is interesting to people who have the same problem, because remember, one is representative of 1,000. If we do it in the exact same way, which is what we do over at growingrich.com, what you end up getting is a bunch of strangers who are just like the people you've been doing business with, who now want to do business with you too, who are now no longer strangers, who are now warm leads, and now are in turn a lot easier to close than strangers. And if we can keep those people coming through the pipeline by talking about things that they want to know, by creating content, then they'll in turn keep bringing us other people. Because remember what I said in the very beginning? Well, not maybe in the beginning, but close to the beginning, when I said that, hey, if people start engaging with your content, then the platform is going to start doing these third party introductions where they walk you up to a person through what's called suggested content, or because you watched or recommended content, which is now the platform basically endorsing you. Because now they're introducing you to people and you're not having to try to introduce yourself through a boosted ad. Because introducing yourself through a boosted ad might just be too rude, too aggressive, you know, which goes back to that whole thing about calling people and asking them for money. Nobody want to hear that. So, again, let's walk through this real quick and let me let you go because it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. So, again, we have hot traffic, hot lead, whatever you want to call it. Those people who are searching around looking for you, ready to give you money. Typically, those people come from referrals. Okay. But probably not enough for you to make a living on, unless you got people giving you 10, 20, $30,000 every time you get one of those referrals. So if you do, you still probably need a significant amount of them. Okay. Then we got warm. Warm people are people who already know you and maybe are thinking about doing business with you, but they just have not made a decision yet. So now with the warm people, you need to be reaching out to them. The best way you do it is one-on-one through an email, text, um, DM, and then you make them an offer that is appealing enough to get them to answer your email, text, video, or whatever. Now, the best thing you can do is to ask them if they know people. Because again, one is representative of 1,000. We talked about the other day about a tribe. So who else is in their tribe that may want to do business with you? So that you can kind of get a third party introduction. Again, we talked about those third party introductions. So you can get a third party introduction. Like, hey, I don't need it, but I got a homegirl. Okay, well, cool. Can you introduce me to your homegirl? Let's do a 3-way call. Let's do a 3-way text. Let's get on the line right now and do a quick Zoom or whatever, so that you can then hand this person off to me. Okay. So now there's lukewarm leads, which they kind of know about you, but you don't know them. So now what you're going to do with them, you're going to post content. You know, blogs, videos, reels, short stories, posts, so that those people will start knowing, oh, hey, you got something coming up. And when they know you got something coming up and it's something that they're interested in and they're engaging with it, now the platform picks them up and then they third party introduce you to strangers. So those strangers who have already kind of wanted to know about what it is that you do, they just don't know that you do it. They're introduced to you through suggested content. Oh, yeah, Sally saw Sarah sitting on the sidelines singing seashores silently. Yeah. Anyway, so through suggested content, I don't know what's going on with me, man. But anyway, through suggested content. So with that being said, now they're going, oh wow, I'm curious. Okay. This might solve my problem. I don't know this person, but this person might be able to solve my problems. So let me watch this video. Let me watch this case study. You know, let me see what's up with this free content that there's no risk in me watching. Oh, I got to give my email address to get it? No problem. Here, take this email address. So now they get it, they like it. Now when you send them something else because they like the last thing, they're watching again. And then they're watching again. And then at some point you make them an offer that they can't refuse, and they become a customer. But if your marketer can't do that, can't talk about how they're going to do that, can't talk about how they've done it in the past for somebody and it's made them some money, you do not hire them. People are jumping in this industry calling themselves marketing people every single day. But the only marketing people you need to hire are ones that can prove and have a proven track record of recouping your investment and putting you on the path to financial freedom. You know, ideally, you want to hire somebody who can make you worth more as the leader, that can make your brand worth more, meaning that you can now raise your price. You know, because one of the coolest things is to be able to raise your price without losing interest or without running customers off. So what should be happening is that your marketing should position you as an industry expert that people want to interview, that people want to hear podcasts from, that people want to read a book about. Speaking of books, shout out to Dwayne Ransford, The Big Picture. Secrets to Being Rich for Someone Who's Really Rich. Okay, so again, it should put you in a position because of your success that you can write a book. Okay? It should make your product worth more because now people are demanding it, and because so many people are demanding it, hey man, we had to raise the price because we had to slow down demand. We had to put some guardrails on this stuff. We couldn't take as many people anymore. So now we created more urgency by saying we only take 25 people at a time. And people still were beating down our door. So we said, hey, we only take 25 people at a time. And we had to raise the price by $500. Because we got hot leads running through the door. And there's too many of them. And we got to slow the thing down. That's what a good marketer should be doing. The other thing is a good marketer should put you in a position to hire great people. Because now you're making enough money, you're getting enough profit so that you can start to hire people to do the work that you used to have to do yourself. So now we got a great team. We got a bigger, better, larger profit. And there's a whole nother stream of income because I'm sought after. Warren Buffett, we read the Warren Buffett books, we watch the Warren Buffett videos, we watch the Warren Buffett interviews. Why? Because he's good at what he does. So now if you want Warren Buffett to speak, not his business, him, you got to pay him. So now there's a whole nother fee that Warren Buffett gets. When you see those people on stage at these events, somebody paid them. Whether it was through a sponsorship, whether it's through ticket sales, or whether it was the people who are hosting the event knowing that those people could pack a room. But who packs rooms better than people who are successful? Nobody. Exactly. So again, with that being said, that's what marketers are supposed to do. So this is another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Small Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. I'm your business big bro, Sidon Long, aka the most dangerous man in marketing. Make sure that you go over to growingrich.com, click that Make Money Fast button, because it's going to get you a free call with me, somebody who's actually generated millions of dollars in this industry and works with some of the best, brightest, successful people around. So again, go over to growingrich.com, click the link. Until next time, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'm out.